I am wiring up the commercial downlight that's color temperature tunable and wattage tunable with emergency battery backup. It's got the test button and charging indicator here. So I'm going to be hooking up our AC 15 watt emergency battery backup driver to this. And some people get overwhelmed by all the wiring, but I just break it up into sections, and it makes it a lot easier and less daunting. So we've got the charging indicator section, so and they're all labeled clearly, so that makes it a lot easier. These are the charging indicator ones. These are for the driver. Let's see, let's get those two, and dimming wires. And this is for the input power. So it's got three. That makes it not so overwhelming when you break it down like that. So the AC emergency battery backup driver comes with its own test button, but since the commercial downlight has one, we're just going to set this one aside. And they have the same wiring, so you can just hook them up direct without having to alter anything. So I'm going to start with that, the indicator light. So gray to gray, red to red, and yellow to yellow. Okay. Next, I'm going to do the downlight's driver. So driver neutral, driver load, and this fixture also has dimming wires, so we're going to go ahead and wire those up. If it didn't have dimming wires and you're using the AC battery backup, you would just clip these off or cap them off, and it would still work fine. Okay, so let me find. Okay, here's the driver neutral, or load, I'm sorry, driver load. Driver neutral. And negative dimmer wire. Positive dimmer wire. And let's see, all we got left is the input wires, load and neutral, and wall switch. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up the input load. And the input neutral. I'm going to go ahead and connect this ground from the downlight to the ground on the input ground. Okay, so all that's left is the dimmer wire, the orange one. This one goes to a wall switch or like a smart dimmer, and we've got the wall switch. Oops. And we've got the wall switch wire. So if you're going to connect this downlight to use a wall switch, you have to connect the wire to its own separate load. Here's my wall switch. It's connected. If you're going to wire this for always on, you can take the wall switch wire and the wire for input load, and you can just twist those together and then connect them to the same input load. But if you want to use a wall switch, you have to use a separate line for that. So, because if you had it wired, in the system together, whenever you turn this off, the battery would think that power was lost, so it would initiate the battery. So, you want to have the driver's power connected to an input load that's on all the time, unless of course the building loses power. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these. All right, so on, off. And you can also see that the downlight's indicator light's on, showing that the battery's charging. There's the test button. Little test. Okay. That'll shut off in a few moments. But that's it. There'll also be a wiring diagram along with a video that you can download. So you can reference the wiring diagram while you're watching the video, and hopefully that'll help you make more sense and do a successful install. All right, thank you.